I grew up with my mother. I come from a broken home. My parents divorced when I was 11 months old. And I lived with my mother until I was about 10 years old. Even through all those early years of my life, going back and forth between my mother's house and my father's house, I really learned how to be two different people, depending on where I was. At my mother's I could be more relaxed. At my dad's I was expected to be, I was controlled more. So I couldn't play as freely as I did at my mother's. I was more isolated at my dad's. So all in my early years I really learned to be almost two different people. And it was at the age around 15 or 16 when I learned that the way to get his approval and to have a friendship with my father, and for him to not be a controlling man that he was before, was to do that through drugs and alcohol.
I think it was a little bit hard for him going house to house, because he would spend a week with his stepdad or his dad and then come to us for another week. So going back and forth, I think sometimes was hard for him to adjust.
Got my own apartment with another guy, and that's where the partying really began. Really started using a lot of hallucinogens, ecstasy, acid, still drinking, still smoking weed, just doing whatever I wanted to do.
I can remember my 9th and 10th grade year. His attitude completely changed. He became a different person. He was distant. And he just became the person he was not. When he was in high school, he was in the band, the marching band, and he loved it.
It was at that point my depression, which I'd always suffered from mildly, really grabbed a hold of me. I started spiraling downhill really fast. And then I met Courtney, and things looked up really fast. She was an amazing person, real strong-willed woman, but I was still using, but I wasn't using that much, just enough so I didn't get sick.
His stepmom called me and let me know he had come up missing, was walking somewhere, we didn't know where he was, so that's the first time I found out he was using drugs. And just the drugs had taken a hold of who he was. And I said, look, you can't stay here anymore, I've got kids, this isn't gonna work. You've gotta go take care of yourself, and don't worry about us, you just need to take care of yourself right now.
The idea of going to the Refuge in a 13th-month program, faith-based, really seemed crazy. I'll never forget going into that church Monday morning. Stepdad took me, watched the orientation video, and I was hooked right there.
After the orientation, I don't know what it was that connected Jeremy, but I knew he was going to be fine. He was going to make it. He was going to do good. And just seeing him now, he's got the positive outlook, the positive future, and just he's a changed person, and all that is from the Refuge.
Since I've come into the Refuge, things in my life have completely changed. The Refuge has done things for me that I never thought were possible. They've given me a new hope, a new aspect of how my life is, a new way to think about things, a new relationship that I never thought I'd have with a father that I never knew I had, being God.
He has hope again. He sees a future. He sees that good things can happen to him. He thinks that he can overcome the addiction. He knows that he can beat this.
I've acquired friendships with people that I never would have chose on the streets. I can't express my gratitude towards what the Refuge has done for me and continues to do for me every day. It's just a true honor to be a part of the Refuge.
For him, it was something to adjust to. Well, do I want to go to the Refuge? But it was the greatest thing that ever happened to him.